I could see the torchlight, lancing sudden burst in the distance, here 1 second, there the next, scrambling up a trunk across the limbs, sniffing at the shuddering leaves and tumbling silently, disappointingly back to the ground to continue their search. They were about a minute away, not considering the groping weeds and tripping roots that would clutch and trip unsuspecting footfall. The wind screamed its own journey, calling vehement threats to unseen specters and piercing whistles, causing the canopy to rush and roar in a furious tumult. The shifting slithers of moonlight permitted temporary access through a pale-limbed chaos sliced at the lake's surface, like silvery daggers, glinting slashes and dazzling evisceration, a collection of intangible crystals. The water, usually smooth, stilled, stagnant, now rippled and rushed in torment. I was certain those searching couldn't hear the scream. The forest was too alive, too angry. I could barely hear their own shouts, muffled and strangled as they were, and that was with the wind ferrying them, fraught with desperation in my direction. But they were close, so close. My heart thundered in my chest, demanding precedence over all sound, until the booming drumbeat of my own horror stampeded about the natural clangor, reverberated within, possessing such an immense force that I was awestruck at the fact it hadn't alerted them yet, hadn't had them beeline toward me. The beams of light continued to clamber frantically, sweeping in the wrong direction as the muted silhouettes that bore them ducked below swooping boughs and snapping branches. If they just continued for perhaps 20 seconds, they should hear the gulping gasps of the water. My adrenaline was aflame within, sparking and pulsing like hoofbeats of war, with ever-increasing dawn tides of my fear. Boom, boom, boom. The ancient trees stood together like stubborn sentinels, unified in age and abandoned camaraderie, their thick gnarled limbs and cracking twisting trunks wrapped around one another, a confused network of chalky bark and skeletal leaves, lurching an edifying burst of shadow, the wind urging them towards the search party. Though whether encouragingly or threateningly, it was difficult to tell. When they managed to venture past the marching trees, they would find themselves pouring out into the lake. Then it would be only a matter of time before those torches melted across the surface in aid of the flailing silver moon, and skittered around the lake's edge like bloodhounds. They'd see it, the dark splotch of crimson, the vicious trail, illuminated a sickly pink by that diluting light. They'd know then that I was here. They'd know. Perhaps they did hear the scream. Boom, boom, boom. I'd never been so scared before, shaking and dithering from the forces within, not without. If I knew that she was here with others, I never would have risked it. They'll find the rest, no doubt. Well, that's enough. Their fumbling horror will freeze them. It'll give me time to flee.